Do you know your trauma? The same way you know your name, do you know that the blood of Hector Peterson nourishes the wombs that give birth to the fruit that hangs from trees like apples? Do you know your pain? The same way your ancestors were hung from trees, do you know your history? Do you know that bodies still hang like apples from trees? Do you know the misery? Do you know that we mourn unborn black bodies before we even get the chance to know them? Do you know that we mourn unborn black bodies before we even get the chance to name them? Do you know your name? The same way you know your pain. Do you even know your pain? Perhaps you know the pressure, for you are the dreams of an ancestor, but do you know your ancestors? Do you know their persistence? Maybe you know of their brilliance. In fact, you may even know of their resilience, but do you know of their resistance? Do you know that there is a difference? Do you know that their bodies bled and their bones screamed to give you a voice? Do you even know how to scream? Do you even use your voice? Do you know how to sacrifice? The same way you wish to know what it is to be great, do you know what a sacrifice is? Do you know that sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great? Do you know that that means sacrifice? Do you know that you and I are that generation? Do you know that you and I carry the futures in our palms, hoping not to return to the highlights in history? Do you know Imboyisa, Makubu, and Vilakazi? Do you know me? Do you hear me? Do you see me? Because I see you. And I feel your pain way before I see it. And so I know that you're tired. I know that you feel like you're born a martyr, a hashtag waiting to trend, a coffin picked at your baby shower. But we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the parts of us that will remain once we're gone, to not only do better, to not only be better, but to fight. Do you even know how to fight? And are you willing to learn? Are you willing to try? Are you willing to bid the comfort of your silence goodbye? And if we die, well, then we die. But do you know your power? Do you know the way your body flowers? Do you know that your silence devours? And your silence betrays? So I ask you, do you really know your trauma? And the way that it paints, the way that it anchors itself in your name? Do you know your power? And are you willing to use it for change? Do you know your trauma? Do you know your pain?